Hi, everyone. It's me, Dr. Nakia Simmons Cotton, author of Essential Tips for Section 504 Coordinators and Essential Tips for Section 504 Leaders, which are both now available on Amazon. So, Essential Tips for Section 504 Coordinators is a book that I have that is now available for local school coordinators or anyone who wants to gain knowledge about Section 504, which is a growing trend in America for students with disabilities. If students are not special education or do not receive special education services, they may be eligible for Section 504 services if those students have a physical or mental impairment that impacts a major life activity. The purpose of Section 504 is to level the playing field in the general education setting. So chapter 1, let me give you a little preview. So chapter 1, I talk about Section 504 what? I talk about the shock of being a Section 504 coordinator, how overwhelming that role is, and how you need to face that role and get started so you can maintain building compliance. So my first chapter is titled Section 504 Next, and I start with the quote, "Unless you try to do something beyond what you've already mastered, you will never grow." So chapter 1, I talk about Section 504, my role and how I was exposed to students with disabilities in Section 504, but how I never actually grasped the role or embraced the role until I was a district level Section 504 leader. So I talk about ways that coordinators can get started in the local school building if you are a new Section 504 coordinator or if you're newly exposed to Section 504. Chapter 2, I talk about the history of Section 504. So I talk about how history provides that valuable background we need to embrace changes. And then I talk about how Section 504 all started with the federal laws, how there was discrimination because Section 504 protects those against discrimination based on a disability. So I talk about the whole record of Section 504, how Section 504 got started. I talk about the disabilities laws, the Disabilities with Amendments, the Americans with Disabilities Amendment Act, and how that got started. I talk a little bit about response to intervention, Section 504 legal cases, and then throughout the whole book, I give some essential tips. Chapter 3, knowledge is power, know your stuff. So in chapter 3, I talk about all the information that you need as a novice Section 504 coordinator or person exposed to the information in Section 504. So I talk about the benefits of your district resources and who you should go to in your district because every district is different. I talk about the Section 504 basics, impairment. What is an impairment? I talk about impairments. I give some examples of some common impairments, and I talk about the temporary impairments, the Section 504 team, the evaluation, the eligibility process, mitigating measures, individual healthcare plans, you name it, I talk about it. I even talk about some sample accommodations, 504 considerations, related services, manifestation determination meetings, and then the difference between Section 504 and IDA. So Essential Tips for Section 504 Coordinators is now available on Amazon. That is a preview of chapters 1, 2, and 3. If you are a principal, if you are a college student who wants to gain knowledge, if you're an educator that wants to gain knowledge, if you're a school leader, you want to gain knowledge, or if you're a local school Section 504 coordinator, this is a resource for you. So please secure your copy. It's available on Amazon in both the Kindle and the paperback edition. And as always, thank you for your support and happy reading.